What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Boot up and shut up. It's the 18th episode once again. We live in effect. Y'all know how we do this. Every other first and third slot, every other second and fourth Sunday. Boot up and shut up radio, broadcasting to you live, right? Today we got a 2-hour special, okay? So I want everybody to tune in. Again, I'm the host, Officer 5001 Ya'ala, along with Officer 5000 Matabar, along with Officer 5000 Ayash Kabawad, and Officer 5000 Tazadaki, all right? Now, again, it's the Isupk, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We've been teaching the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians their true heritage, which is comprised of the laws, statutes, and commandments that are in the Bible. Now, here's the deal. Once our people begin to follow the laws in the Bible, the Most High God, Yahweh in the Hebrew, will send his son, he'll have mercy on us, and send his son Christ, Yahweh, to free us from our oppression. Now, using the Bible, the Holy Bible, we can fix all of the problems in the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities, turning a lawless, immoral, stiff-necked, rebellious, hard-headed people into a lawful, righteous, abiding people, all right? The true nationality of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and our West Indian brothers of North, Central, and South America. We are the true biblical Israelites of antiquity. And Jesus Christ, Yahweh Mashiach in the Hebrew, is their king. Or should I say our king? So we always want to learn the truth about the Bible from the real priests and prophets of the Most High in Christ under Commanding General Yohana. Okay? And don't forget to send in your tithes. Send in your tithes so we can open up more schools. All right? Now, let's get in today. We got a 2-hour special. Again, we have a fantastic feature. This brother is a mighty man that does work. He is in control of the South when it comes to Isupk. All right? This brother is Captain Kahan Thumyard, Captain of 13,000. All right? He is featured on here tonight. We are going to do a 2-hour special. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you like what you see. Make sure you share what you see, and get your friends, family, relatives, whoever, in the world, out the world, in the truth, out the truth. They need to hear what's going on tonight, all right? So with no further ado, and of course we're going to take some calls. So we see people on the line right now. Hold your calls. We will get to you, all right? So we're going to bring Captain Kahan Thumyard on right now, and we're going to get straight into this with no further ado. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yam Shabbarakatah. What's going on out of 1?
Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yam Shabbarakatah to all the brothers out there. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Alabam Bashim Yahweh Shah to all the sisters out there. It's a honor for having me on. Also, I'm with y'all. We got a lot to talk. We got a lot to talk about tonight, especially after the post-election madness that went on in America. Or they can call it, although they still want to call it the post-racial era, but we're going to talk about it, whatever it is. We're going to talk about the post-election and the pre-election, all the things that happened in between. We're going to talk about it because tonight, what you have in America now among black people is a clash of political ideology. We have a clash of political ideology or what we should do as a people politically.
Right.
And what a lot of these so-called bourgeoisie Negroes don't understand is that the Bible gives the blueprint on how to gain not only political power but national power.
Right.
As a race. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Did you get those stories that I sent you?
Con, I got them, sir.
We're going to run these stories down, man, because a lot of people always say your vote count, my vote counted. I see a lot of my vote counted stickers out there. You know, my vote count. And black, they even made a shirt called Black Vote Count.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they was going all out. We really put our spirit into this voting. You understand? But we have yet to see the benefits of voting on a national level. When I say national level, I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, talking about our nation according to the Bible.
Right.
We have yet to reap the fruits and benefits of it. All right? So let's get story one. We're going to go into, does your vote really count? If you had any questions, if your vote counted, we're going to answer that tonight. We're going to put it to rest tonight. You out there listening, whether it's on social media, wherever you're listening at, if you had any questions, if does your vote count, we're going to answer it tonight. All right? That sounds like a plan, right? So let's get to it. Let's get to story one.
All right. Now I have story 7. Is that one?
No. Do you have?
Okay.
I sent the ones earlier.
Okay.
I want to check up.
Con, I have it. All right. Let's get straight into it.
All right.
All right. Now, if anybody wants to make sure that you participate in tonight's radio show, make sure you call 720-835-5238. Again, that number is 720-835-5238 with an access code of 62571. Again, the access code 62571. All right, so you can go on the page, you go look to see the number again. We'll be giving the number throughout the radio broadcast. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let me see. Is this 700 wrap voting machines found in a Georgia warehouse? 700.
Now, hold on. This is after the election. This is not before the election. Now, remember, I want to say this. For those who don't have any background information about what happened in Georgia, you got to understand, there's certain parts of Georgia where black folks stood in line for over 4 hours to vote. 4 hours. And then when they got to vote, so-called vote, the machines were out of service, out of order. You understand? The machines didn't work. Go ahead and read, brother.
Come. According to Stacey Abrams' camp, Fulton County did not have the adequate amount of machines for voters. They discovered 700 wrap machines in a warehouse. Now, this evidence is more proof of widespread voter suppression throughout the state.
Say that one more time.
This evidence is more proof of widespread voter suppression throughout the state.
You see that? So don't come and get mad with the UPK when we say that you putting your hope in the wrong thing. Now, they knew the election was coming, but they wrapped 700 new voting machines that worked in a base. Meanwhile, the other machines didn't work. Go ahead, brother. Read on.
Come. 3 of the 4 largest counties in the state, DeKalb, Gwinnett, and Cobb, have reported only a portion of the voters that were submitted by early mail. In Cobb County alone, anywhere between 25,000 and 26,000 voters were submitted early by mail. 4 other large counties, Chatham, Henry, Douglas, and Clark, have reported exactly 0 votes by mail.
0 votes. Now, come on, man. You know somebody sent some votes in by mail, they got 0.
Wow.
Keep going.
Absentee ballots represent another major pickup opportunity for Abrams. In Gwinnett County alone, more than 20,000 absentee ballots are waiting to be counted. Additionally, there is an unknown number of absentee ballots that were potentially wrongly rejected, which will also need to be counted. An historic number of provisional and paper ballots were cast throughout Georgia. These have yet to be counted. Machine breakdowns and shoddy election
they have yet to be what?
Counted.
So hold on. So now you understand they wanted to call the election already before their sister Stacey Abrams. she said that she's not going to throw in the towel. They already won it. So what is that saying? They called the election before they count all the votes. So how can every vote count?
Right.
If they call the election, they're trying to call the election before all the votes are counted. You understand what's going on, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man and sisters? Like, you can't put your trust in this place, man.
Right.
You can't do it, man. Like, we didn't write this story that we read about. Let me help you out. These stories that we're reading, and we just scratched the surface. There are tons of other stories that haven't even came out yet. Some of the stories that we heard on the ground in some of these little small areas, these little pocket towns down south, especially up north too, but especially down south, where a lot of people ain't tech savvy, so they don't know how to get the story out.
Right.
But there's a lot of stories that it came out, or that's being suppressed by the media because they don't want to make it like their town is back in the 1960s. You understand? They want to make it like they ain't nothing wrong with the election. But it's the fix is in, man.
Right.
Keep going, brother.
Come. Machine breakdowns and shoddy election administration on the part of Secretary of State Brian Kemp contributed to the exceedingly large number of provisional and paper ballots. We will continue to update the public as more info arises.
Is that it on that?
Con, that's it.
All right, so that's one strike right there. How many strikes is it in baseball to be out? 3, right?
Right.
So that's one right there in Georgia. One of many. You understand? Now let's get story 2. Let's go to story 2. We're gonna just knock them all the way down.
Right.
We're gonna touch on other stuff too tonight. We're gonna touch on the wildfire that happened up there. We're gonna touch on the country bar shooting that happened out there. Yeah, in California. We're gonna touch on all that. But I want to make sure that we put the nail in the coffin when it comes to this vote. You understand? Because these Negroes, some of you Negroes who listen to gospel going to vote. I'm gonna just keep it real. I heard gospel music out there if you going to vote. It was damn near a religious ceremony.
Right.
What was going on? You understand? And you ain't supposed to be doing that, man. You ain't supposed to put your trust in this place.
Right.
And we're gonna break down what it means to vote. We're gonna see if black people really have the political and economic capital to vote.
Right.
Because a lot of these Negroes, these bourgeoisie Negroes, is getting mad. You want to blame the recount or Faith Abrams not getting the most votes on poor black people. You want to blame it on poor black people.
Right.
Meanwhile, Oprah Winfrey. Now hold on, let me explain something right quick. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah is a media mogul, man. You understand? She got her own. She's a media mogul. She's connected in the entertainment world, in the political world, in the professional world. Now, if you can't win the election with Oprah Winfrey, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. You really can't get mad at poor black people. I'm sorry. You just can't.
Right.
They're putting out all the celebrities, you know what I'm saying? And you still can't win the election. Listen, don't blame poor black people. Why they ain't blaming white women? Hold up now.
Right.
Hold up. Ain't Stacey Abrams a woman?
Right.
Ain't Stacey Abrams a woman? Wait till we get the statistics back on how many white women voted against her. Hold up now. Hold on, I want y'all.
Right. I'm wondering what a white feminist movement is all of a sudden to support the black women.
Damn right. Come on, man. Give me some feedback. I know you chime in anytime you want to. Because listen, like the white women were supposed to be for Stacey Abrams.
Right.
But meanwhile, the white women, you got to understand, when it came to certain proposals, they voted for the Democratic side when it came to certain proposals.
That's right.
But when it came to the head candidate, they voted against them. You're going to find that out. See, white women, the black woman got to understand something in America, which is what The Isupk been telling her for years. You gotta understand. Give me that scripture where it says, every beast loveth its life in the Apocrypha.
Come on.
Y'all. The white woman chooses her race over her gender. Do you understand what I'm saying? She chooses her race over her gender. You understand? Race over the gender is the agenda. And black women just fail to realize you steady on that white women feminist trip.
Right.
But you got time. You got to wake up, man. And not one candidate. I have yet to hear one candidate that speaks directly to black men. I have yet. Have you heard any candidate that said I'm speaking directly to black men? When y'all
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We haven't heard that. Where is the candidate saying we're gonna have child support reform? Come on.
Right.
Where is he at? Where is she at?
Right.
We haven't heard it. You understand? And April and Gilla, the sister that's in Georgia and the other one that's in Florida, the brother that's in Florida, they are progressive. You understand what I'm saying? Right. They are progressive, and they gotta have a runoff. It's supposed to be a blowout if everybody's progressive, if everybody's for women's rights, and everybody's for LGBT rights, LGBTQI. I guess that's what they say now. Right. Then you supposed to be stomping everybody out. But that ain't happening. You're trying to play both sides of the aisle and get stomped out in the election. Right. You know what I'm saying? Getting cheated out, but getting stomped out nonetheless. You got that scripture, brother? Come. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 15, and it reads, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. You see that? Every beast, the lion's going to look out for the lion. You would never see a female lion go hang out with the giraffe. You understand? The giraffe for food, for her family. Mm-hmm. You understand? You ain't no getting around this, man. You can't separate race from politics. If all you political science majors out there, all you PhDs in political science, you understand, especially if you black, you should understand that. You understand? But those are things that you fail to learn, which is why you should enroll into the Israelite School of Universal Tractor for Knowledge. Right. Because you have failed and you don't know how to even deal with race relations. And let me say this too. I don't want to go too deep in it. Let's get to the next story. I want to let the stories talk and let the scriptures talk. Because I don't want to get ahead of myself, man. I want to make sure we cover all of this. Go ahead. Come. Good story too. South Carolina voters say machines flip their votes. Voters in South Carolina said machines at some polling places flipped their votes, according to the report on Tuesday. The voters began to complain after they said their candidate picks, including in the governor's race, did not match those on their final ballot submission. Now, one person told the station that she tried to correct her vote several times before a poll worker took her to another machine so she could cast her vote. Richland County Elections Director Roki Suleiman said no votes were switched and blamed the malfunctions on a collaboration issue with the voting machines. He told the station. That's a damn lot. That's damage control. Right. If the people seeing they know who they vote for, the vote was switched. You understand? He's just trying to say that to save his job, to make it like they got everything under control. The votes were switched, man. These people ain't got no reason to lie about this. Right. When they come back, they see they voted for this. They're coming back something else. Right. Go ahead, brother. Richland County Elections Director Roki Suleiman said no votes were switched and blamed the malfunctions on a collaboration issue with the voting machines. He told the station that if the touchscreen collaborations is off,
It could be an unintended selection. He cautioned voters to review their final selection page to ensure it reflects their correct picks. Suleiman said polling places in the county have also reported problems with flashcards, electrical cords, and non-functioning outlets. He said the voting machine.
In other words, democracy is out of order.
Right.
In other words, democracy is broken. In other words, democracy does not work. Do you understand?
Right.
Meanwhile, America's trying to give every other country democracy. They're trying to say, well, we want to show you that that democracy works. Well, democracy ain't gonna work for you. These machines switching your vote. But every vote counts. It counted all right. It counted against you.
Right.
Keep going.
He said the voting machines are usually recollaborated several times on election day. The complaints in South Carolina follow similar reports at the end of October about voting machine glitches in Texas. Early voters casting straight party tickets in Houston said the machines changed their ballots to include a candidate from another party. Democrats and Democrats and Republicans said their selections were affected. Election officials rejected claims that the machines malfunctioned and chalked up the mistakes to operator error.
Man, listen. If you don't, like I said, we're not making these stories up, man. And like I said, those are two stories right there. Let's go to the third. Any more? Is there any more in this story?
Just a small bit. It says,
come on.
It is not a glitch. It's a user-induced problem that comes from the type of system that we have. Fort Bend County Election Administrator John Ullman told ABC 13. Quote, I think both sides could be equally hurt, unquote. So
both sides could be equally hurt, yeah. Until the election is over with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until one candidate get so basically they're saying charge into the game.
Right.
That's basically what they're saying.
Right.
Right or wrong.
Right.
They're saying both sides were equally affected. How do you know that? If they vote for miscounted.
You know,
how do you know which one? How do you know? How do you know which ones were correct and which ones were incorrect?
Right.
For you to say both sides got affected.
Right.
You see, that's why we say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Man.
Right.
That's why we say these things, man.
And,
you understand?
And look, Salaki, if I may, so you have,
go ahead.
You know, the thing that gets me, you know, this has been going on for generations. Okay, ever since I was a child. The voting, the voting of the ballots, it's always something going on, somebody getting caught or somebody switching ballots. Now, I've actually, of course, Isupk, we don't vote, but I know people that do vote out in the world. And I asked them, once you vote, if it's straight party, Democrat, Republican, once you vote, do you check at the top to make sure everything is correct the way you voted? And at least 9 times out of 10, they say no. So they're not looking, and their vote gets switched. They don't know who they're voting for, but that's not even the issue. As Commanding General Hunter say, it's the 13 electoral votes that vote for the president, and it's behind the scenes of that 1% who are operating, in secrecy. That's gonna put who they want in anyway. So I don't even know why everybody's going to go vote anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man.
And
you know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean to cut you off. You bring out a heavy point.
Yeah, and just one last point. It's like the definition of someone that's going crazy or insanity is someone doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So we keep voting and voting over again, expecting different results. And just recently, I spoke with my father, and he's the old school. So I said like, what about racial problems going on in America? Like, do you think we can solve them? Well, son, if we can just vote, they'll blame it on the system. So I went at him, okay, well, you believe in systematic racism. he quickly responded and said yes, right? So my thing was, then why are you voting, right, and put your trust in a system and then try to expect some type of change to happen racially, right? And that was a deep point, and he didn't have an answer for it. You see what I'm saying? So as soon as we get Captain Kahan back on, we'll get right back into the same thing. All right. So let me see. Let me answer. Let me see. Can't hear you. Let me see. Maybe he has a call back in. Tell him to call back in. Okay. All right. No sweat. All right. All right. So again, we're going over this. Again, this is a 2-hour special with Captain of 13,000, Priest and Captain Kahan Thumyard. All right. Blow the phone lines up. We do want to hear what you all have to say. The number again is 720-835-5238. Again, 720-835-5238. The access code 62571. The access code 62571. Make sure that you call in, and we want to hear exactly what you have to say on this issue. Okay. And again, as I was stating, this has been happening. This is not a new thing. Again, the system acts as if this is something new, right? That we're having voter problems, that we're having problems with the ballots, we're having problems with issues, of people changing votes. Like, this is not a new thing, okay? Racial, a racial divide has been in this country since we were brought over here as slaves. Okay, so he's on. You hear?
No, is he speaking? Is he speaking?
Okay, yeah. No, I don't know if he's speaking. Captain Gunn, can you hear me? He said, I'm on, but I can't hear anything. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what we do? Let me see. Wonder if we let me tell him call my phone.
He should be able to speak today.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows that he's on there right now.
Okay, it shows that he's on there. Okay. Okay. Can you hear us? Let me see. One moment. All right, we're working with it with small technical difficulties. We'll be right back. Well, we're not going anywhere, but we'll be right back in motion. All right. It says he's muted. He says I've been muted. That's what it says.
He's unmuted.
He's unmuted.
Come on, Casa.
Okay.
Yeah, I just muted so maybe we can hear him, and then I unmuted it. But yeah, he should be back.
Okay. Let me see. All right. What about now? No.
It shows him speaking.
Yeah, he says he's speaking, right. He says he's speaking right now. I'm going to just tell him to call my phone, put the mic up to the phone, and keep it rolling.
Come on, Casa.
All right.
I think that's the best thing.
All right. Yeah, we'll just do that.
Let me see one more thing.
You sure?
Yes, sir. Let me take a look real fast.
This free conference call is provided by Uber Conference.
So that's it right there.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, now we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Come, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, we back on. All right. The white man is indeed the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he's not going to stop this. Boot Up and Shut Up Radio Live. Don't forget, we got a 2-hour special. Captain Kahan, 13,000. Kahan Thumyard back in the building. We back in power. Radio listeners, make sure that you call, all right? 720-835-5238. Again, that number for you is 720-835-5238. Access code 62571. Again, the access code 62571. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get it in.
All right. So I don't know what I missed, but I want to touch it. You was going into what your father said about the voting process.
Right. I'll repeat it. So, insanity, of course, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Right. So, especially our older generation, they don't just want to rightfully admit and have it come out of their mouth that white people are prejudiced or white people are racist or white people are controlling the system. But he was quick to agree when I asked him, did you do you agree that there's a racial or systematic racism? And so he quickly said yes. So he wouldn't really say white people were prejudiced, but he agreed to systematic racism. So I said, then why would you vote for a system and expect some type of change to happen racially? And he didn't have an answer for it.
Right? That's heavy. So, that's a heavy point. Right. If I could.
Go ahead.
Oh man, that's a heavy point. Look, what you're saying is so right. Because think about it. If the educational system is broken, the justice system is broken.
Right.
All these other social systems is broken. What makes you think the voting system is not broken?
Right.
And when I say broken, meaning in relativeness to us, to what it does for us, it's not broken when it comes to the other nations.
Right.
It's not broken when it comes to white people. It works fine for them.
Right.
The only reason that we even have this discussion about social change in America is because of black and the Latino and Native American Indian people are upset. That's the only reason other than that, you don't exist.
Right.
Like, how are you going to say Black Lives Matter when your vote don't count? You understand? Like, it's backwards. So it's systematic racism.
Right.
So if you can agree that it's systematic racism, then you have to agree that system works for a race.
That's right.
For one race. Because the word racism is not, like I said before, it's not, I don't like you, you don't like me. Racism is systematic. Oppression is systematic. You understand? In order to keep a race, a permanent underclass, or a person that doesn't get represented in any process.
Right.
No matter what that process would be. So that's a heavy point, Amunyala. And that's a good observation for a lot of people that believe in both.
Right.
All right. So, and did we ever finish story 2?
I have story 3 ready to go right now.
Okay, let's move on to story 3 right quick.
Okay, this is story 3. Polling problems. Some Oklahoma voters report having to ask for state question ballots. Oklahoma City. Voters across the state are heading to the polls to cast their votes on several high-profile races and controversial state questions. However, some voters say not everyone is given the state question ballot. Tim York says when he went to his polling place on South Pennsylvania Avenue in Oklahoma City on Tuesday morning, the poll worker asked him if he wanted the ballot for state question 788. York says he was taken aback because everyone is supposed to receive that ballot regardless of party affiliation. State question.
Now, hold on. Now listen. Now come on, man. Now this probably is a white man. They asked him. He gets to the poll. They said, "Would you like to have this type of ballot?"
Right.
They ain't asking everybody else. He's thinking that it's automatically supposed to be like that. This is a trapdoor in democracy. This is a trapdoor in the voting process. You understand? Showing you that some people, this is how racism works. You understand? This is how systematic racism works. One person comes to a voting booth and they don't get the certain ballot. Another person comes up and they get a specialized ballot.
Wow. That's heavy.
So don't blame the voter. See, I love it when these Negroes try to say, well, black people are uninformed. Black people are uninformed. The whole system, if the system was working, we wouldn't have to inform ourselves. The information would be right there readily available.
Right.
This man didn't even ask for the ballot, they asked him if he wanted the ballot. Meanwhile, poor black people coming in there, they didn't even ask for them. You see what's going on in America?
Right.
You quick to blame poor black people for their problems. You bourgeoisie Negroes. Well, y'all didn't get out and vote. Y'all, we gonna end that tonight. You understand? From here on out, there's no mercy. There's really no mercy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna win no argument. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never won no argument against us, and you ain't gonna win one. Keep going, brother.
State Question 788 asks voters whether to legalize medical marijuana in our state. Oklahoma County Election Board officials say that they received at least one complaint about this Tuesday morning. They believe it was an isolated incident and say all their workers have been thoroughly trained and should know that everyone receives the state question ballot.
Hold on. Once again, that's damage control again.
What?
Now, not saying that we should vote anyway, but we just showing you the irregularities and the unbalance of voting. We just showing you, what we doing is just showing you ain't supposed to be smoking marijuana anyway.
Right.
You understand? But we just showing you, you know what I'm saying, just for edification's sake, why you shouldn't vote. Well, why it's useless. Why it's useless to vote. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
And that's it for that question. I just want to add, that's it for that article. I just want to add why my question to America voting system is, why does it keep happening repeatedly? Like there's no one to fit, like it's sort of like a water main when it bursts. They never solve the problem. The pressure just moves to another part of the pipe and then bursts there. You see? So it just seems to be, it's not an accident. It seems to be a method to the madness, right? So that's what I'm looking at, because it happens continuously, and then when it happens, it's not treated like, white people killing themselves. Oh, it's an epidemic. Something happens in the neighborhood. Oh, it's an epidemic. But they're sort of treating this the way they shoot blacks down in the neighborhood. The way the way our women abort the babies, like, well, it's not a real issue. It's just, no big deal. Just, the ballots are messing up. It's just a scrape on the knee. It's no big deal. Like, who's going to seriously rectify the situation? You see? So it seems to be that they can send spacecrafts off in the sky, send billions, trillions of dollars. How come we can't get things right on Earth as simple as a voting ballot? Like where is the technology?
Come on.
So that's, that's my question,
Hold on, let me just say this. Let me add to it, brother. That we can go to story 8, because what story 8 is going into, I think is exactly what you're talking about, brother. See, you got to understand something. See, I was reading a quote today, and a quote by a dictator, a famous dictator. Of course, you know what I'm saying? He was a dictator. He didn't believe in democracy, but he said something that was so relevant to today. And I'm going to quote it for y'all before he gets article number 8. And I quote, "The people who cast the vote decide nothing. The people who count the vote decide everything." And that's from Joseph Stalin. You understand? How can you say your vote counts when you're not counting your own vote? Like that right there is showing. And let me tell you something about these devils and these people that understand power. You don't share power. Power is transferred.
Right.
You understand? Like Americans fooled you in believing that they share power. Both parties share power. Power is not shared. You see how Donald Trump is acting. He ain't sharing power. The Democratic Party won the House, and the Republicans run the Senate, and the Democrats now are saying that we got to work together.
Wow.
You got a man who don't want to work with anybody. Anybody that works with him got to agree with him fully. And the Democrats, the people that black people voted for, majority, they selling black people out completely. And we said this was gonna happen. We said it was gonna happen. Either I said it was gonna happen that if the Democratic Party lose.
Right.
But even now, even though they got the House, they wouldn't still tell you out. They wouldn't have compromised. And they're going to cut a deal because the powerful have one objective, and that's to stay in power.
That's it.
Let's get story number 8, brother.
Story number 8. Florida teacher finds provisional ballot box in storage area. All right. A teacher in Florida, okay? A teacher in Florida found a container labeled provisional ballot box in a storage area of her elementary school on Thursday. Lakeisha Williams, Broward County, said she discovered the ballot box 2 days after Election Day at I want to get the word right. So, Miramar Elementary School, okay, where it was apparently left behind by election workers. I went into the quote. I went into the area that we use for storage, and I saw it in there. Williams told the Post. Williams said she did not touch or look inside the box. Instead, she told the school's principal, and they decided to contact a local state representative. Quote, I don't know where it is now, Williams said. Nothing that all provisional ballots needed to be received by county officials before 5 p.m. on Thursday. Voters are still being counted in the Sunshine State. The state's races of U.S. Senate and governor were tightened to a difference of less than 0.5%, potentially triggering an automatic recount.
And that's what's happening right now. And they filed a lawsuit, both sides filed a lawsuit. Let me get 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 20. Both sides are filing lawsuits right now because they saying if the tension is so high, they saying, look, we're going to have to sue the state, we're going to have to sue this person, because they saying they count that it shouldn't be a runoff, it shouldn't be a recount. Certain ballots should be disputed. All this matters. They even said something, they got a mystery ballot. I ain't never heard of that. They got a mystery. The white man that came up with a mystery ballot. And brother, listen, come on, man. Get down with the Lord, man. Let's get this scripture, 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 20. Let the Bible speak.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 20, and it reads, Thou sayest, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on, whom dost thou trust, that thou rebellest against me?
Keep going.
Verse 21. Now, behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust in him.
You understand that?
Right.
This is the Lord talking to Israel. Remember, we was under captivity under the Egyptian Empire.
Right.
Under Pharaoh. And the Lord said, us trusting in that government, a government that oppress you, right? You lean on that broken reed, it's gonna pierce you. You understand? Right. You lean on something that's not stable. You lean on something that's not solid. And it's going to break on you, and when it breaks, it's gonna pierce you. It's gonna pierce you. You using this staff, this reed to hold you up. Same thing with voting. We use voting to prop us up, to give us some sense of, I have a voice. But let me tell you something. You had a voice way before voting.
That's right.
You understand? And the Lord heard your voice. Like you gotta understand something about God. God is too jealous to allow voting to deliver you.
Yep.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to repeat that again. The Most High Power, God, is too jealous to allow voting to deliver you.
That's right. Man, that's it.
You think he done all, after all the things he done for us, he gonna allow a vote machine or a paper ballot to give you justice, to give you freedom? I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. Apparently you don't know the Bible, and your pastor damn sure don't know the Bible.
Right.
You understand? Give me that scripture where God said he's a jealous God. Where he said, put no power before me, no God before me.
Come on. And and it's heavy about what you're saying, because if that was allowed to happen, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they wouldn't care nothing about the Bible. They would turn their back on the Most High God and lean on the white man forever because he gave them salvation. You see?
Exactly.
Yeah, that would never happen.
Damn near what, let me say this too. That's damn near what happened with Barack Obama. Like if Negroes were caught Barack Obama, they'd go and say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord heard that, man. He saw like you would have thought Christ came back when he won the election. And the Lord is sitting back, and the Lord said, and let me tell you something. He sat back and he said, you know what, I'm gonna fix this. And then Donald Trump came. And everything that Barack Obama did was wiped out in less than a year. Less than a year.
That's right. Wow.
God is jealous. Don't the scripture say that? That he's a jealous God?
Come.
Let's get that scripture, brother.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 5. And it reads, Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the father upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Go on.
Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments.
You see that? God, and it's sure how heavy the Most High is. God will curse you to your third and fourth generation for hating him. You understand? And the ones that love him, he gonna bless them to the third and fourth generation. Let's show you how God gets down. He knows that we trying to make voting our strength in America. You think he don't know that? Like you give voting, I mean, think about all the things that they do for voting. Man, they was putting people out the hospital to go vote. How many of y'all be there when it comes time for the Passover?
Right.
How many of y'all be there when it comes time when the Lord said that all supposed to observe the high holy days that he said about? You don't care about that. The Lord sees that, man.
Right.
He watches that. And he's not going to allow you to get justice. Other than him, he's not going to allow you to get salvation other than through him. That's what we read about. And that's why voting has not worked for you. Because that's not the blueprint for salvation the Lord has set up. You understand? And to be honest, the vote for the white man.
Right.
Because he didn't get America by voting. He didn't get this country by voting.
Right.
You understand? Everything he done was through the sword.
Right.
Through bloodshed.
Right.
Through murder.
And
So this is just. I'm sorry. Go ahead, boy.
Yeah, Salaki, I just want to add, and America definitely didn't get from under the hand of Britain by voting. Okay, so we already know. So I don't know what they mean trying to tell us to vote when we have to, bind together and use force to get out from under our oppression. That's the only respect that we're gonna get. America wants us to vote our way out, but when they were under the rulership of Britain, they got together and fought their way out. See, so
that's damn right, brother. And listen, hold on. And I want to say this too. You look at what's going on in America. You watch what's going on. Why do you think all these alt-right people and these militias are getting guns?
Right.
Why do you think Antifa is publishing conservative journalists and talking? They publishing their own address online right now.
Right.
They was in front of that Fox News people. They was in front of. They showed up to his house with his wife and kids at, and told him that we know where he sleep at. You understand?
Right.
Like, they don't care about voting. When things don't go their way, they get violent. They just a fact.
Right.
You understand? If things are going their way and they get violent, what do you think gonna happen when things not going their way? So they gonna go vote? They would dilute this system and burn the Constitution right now in order to do what they want to do. And you got Negroes talking about go vote. That you wrong for me. You were disgraced. I heard Roland Martin say you were disgraced to your race because you ain't go vote. He said on the Tom Jones Morning Show that you are a disgrace. So he want to shame black people for not voting. He want to twist the narrative of what our ancestors suffered for.
Right.
To use it as an agenda to go vote. I thought we were supposed to be free vote. It shouldn't matter if we vote or not. Are we bound to this political system?
Right.
If we free, we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point. That's solid right there.
Our ancestors didn't die to vote. They were murdered for trying to be free.
Right. Right.
Don't try to make it to what you say is right. Because you want a job in the political realm, or you want to, be a Hillary Clinton behind.
Right.
You understand? So you want to bring out warriors?
Oh, no. I'm just saying, everything you're saying on point. Make sure all the radio listeners, you call in to 720-835-5238. Again, the number is 720-835-5238 with an access code of 62571. The access code is 62571. All right? All right. Okay.
All right, so let's go to story 11. We still got time, right? How much more time we got?
We have roughly 45 minutes, or an hour, right? Roughly an hour, right?
Let's go to story 11.
Started about 9:15, so.
So 7:15. Yeah, so we got an hour.
Yeah, so it's 8:15. So we got an hour.
Okay, all right.
We have calls.
Let's go to story 11.
Come on.
We just touching on these politics like this. Make sure it's embedded in our people's mind what's going on.
Right. All right. This is photos show scores of uncounted ballots in Opelika Mail Center. All right.
And that's in Florida, right? That's in Opelika. That's in Florida.
Come on.
Right.
Right.
So it says scores of uncounted. That's the word. That's the word for the night. Uncounted. Go ahead.
The Miami Herald reports that 266 ballots from the Opelika mail facility arrived at the Miami-Dade County Elections Department on Saturday morning. It's unclear when the ballots were initially postmarked. Per state law, the ballots will not count toward the election unless they are from military members or people living overseas.
Repeat that part one more time.
That's it. Per state law, the ballots will not count toward the election unless they are from military members or people living overseas.
Y'all heard that, right? So these people vote, in essence, if they're not from the military or whatever, then their vote, guess what? It did not count. You understand that? Agree.
Come on. Miami-Dade County announced today that it has been finished counting votes for the 2000 election. Okay? Let me scroll down. The fraudulent Miami Beach company tied to acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker was being investigated by the FBI as recently as last summer and might still be in the Bureau's crosshairs, potentially creating a conflict of interest. In a 9-paragraph July 10, 2017 letter obtained by New Times, FBI victim specialist Cynthia Sosa confirmed that the invention promotion company World Patent Marketing where Whitaker served on the advisory board, was being investigated as a possible criminal matter. Okay, let me see. There we go. Now, claims by Governor Rick Scott, Senator Marco Rubio, and President Donald Trump that Democrats are stealing the 2018 elections.
Hold on.
That's heavy right there.
He said what? Hold on. He said what, brother?
Claims by Governor Rick Scott, Senator Marco Rubio, and President Donald Trump that Democrats are stealing the 2018 elections in Broward County.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Let's go.
That even the people that you voted for don't trust the system.
Oh, man.
Even the political candidates that you say you got to vote for, they asking for a recount right now. They saying, the Republicans saying niggas steal because they always steal. Boy, oh boy, you better wake up. You better wake up, and you better wake up fast. You Negroes is going out there trying to shame black people for not voting. You are a disgrace to the race.
Right.
You are a disgrace to the race. We are beyond a constitutional crisis in America right now. And you're telling us, you know what that's like? That's like you seeing the Titanic sinking, and you saying, let's hurry get on the boat. Let's put more luggage on the boat.
Yeah.
That's what that's like. But like, think about it. Like, Donald Trump is banning the press. Some of the press can't even come to the White House. He calling black women losers in the White House press conference. And then some of those black women are so afraid they hire their own security because of these attacks and stuff going on from the alt-right stuff. You would have, like, what? Ain't no freedom of the press no more. It's damn near like the freedom of the press is being, it mean now is if you agree with Donald Trump, then you get to the White House. If you don't, then you don't get to the White House. Like, you don't see what's going on, man? Let me get this scripture right quick. Give me Psalm 62 and 10. Psalm chapter 62, verse 10, man. I mean, golly. Trump is saying they stuff. He ain't even filed taxes. He said they still the election.
This is Psalms chapter 62, verse 10. Psalms chapter 62, verse 10. And it reads, trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
You see that? Don't trust in oppression, man. That's what it's heavy what you brought out earlier about systematic racism.
Right.
Systematic racism exists in every form of this government. Even down to food stamps. Everything in this is systematic racism. You understand? And it's like that, which is why you've been thinking all the time that it's been you. It's my fault because I don't get out and vote. It's my fault because I don't try to do this. It's my fault that I can't get a job. It's systematic racism that's going on in this country.
Damn right.
The general brought it out on the show, on the grill, on Monday night show.
Right.
He brought it out. Like, you gotta stop. It ain't you. They didn't made it like it was you. They didn't made it the drug problem is a black problem. You understand? But it's been them all along. You understand? You've just been a scapegoat. You understand? Like, they robbing the election and they want to blame you. Democrats still in the vote.
Absolutely.
Any more of that, Warrior?
Any
more of that story?
Go ahead. Claims by Governor Rick Scott and Senator Marco Rubio and President Donald Trump that Democrats are stealing the 2018 elections in Broward County have sparked the expected reaction. Now, despite the fact that appears to be zero evidence backing up the claims, conspiracy theorists, right-wing grifters, and pro-Trump protesters are now descending on the Broward County Supervisor of Elections office. Now, the Broward County election theft demonstration seems to have been co-organized by a former Trump campaign volunteer from Miami, Juan Philo, who has been posting online. Now, Miami Herald report Alex Harris has already posted that roughly 60 people appear to be outside right now chanting, quote, "Lock her up," unquote, at Broward County Supervisor on Elections, Brenda Snipes. Now, the incident calls to mind the infamous 2000, quote, Brooks Brothers riot, unquote, a pro-Bush, quote, protest, unquote, that right-wing provocator, Roger Stone later admitted that he was the one that organized it.
You see that?
That's
you understand that? Come on, man.
That's absolutely correct.
But you gotta understand what time it is now. What do you think gonna happen? This is the question I got for black people. What do you think white people are gonna do if they feel that the election was stolen? Do you think that they're gonna wait? You think they're gonna wait to the next election? Do you think they're gonna sit there and say, "Let's wait to the next election"? I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna get violent.
That's right.
And they're gonna take it out. Just like them pipe bombs and stuff that got sent, they're gonna start targeting. Do you know that somebody dumped a truckload of manure in front of a Democratic polling office? That story, we ain't gonna even get to that story. But that happened. You understand? That happened.
Right.
You understand? So it ain't no getting around it, man. All right? Let me get to the story. What we at? How you looking on time? Something you want to bring out on y'all?
I want to go ahead and take some calls since we
Okay.
Go
What
ahead
do
and
you
take some.
think?
All right, yeah, go and take some calls since we got people on the line. So the first call, let's go ahead and get let me see, caller 205-545. It's 205-545. Guess what? You live right now on Boot Up and Shut Up Radio. What's your name, location? Caller 205-545. What's your call? Caller 205-545. Going once. Going twice. All right, boot them out. All right, caller number 2. We're going to caller number. All right, we're going to caller number 2. 713-231. That's the number. 713-231. Guess what? You live right now on Boot Up and Shut Up Radio. What's your name? City and location. Call us 713-231. Are they calling or are they scared they're hanging up? Which one? Okay, 205. Are you there? 205.
Slovakia, Shalom down, Shalom down, and outside, just on you, but now you have them calling for go for 50.
Yes, Shalom, Makwat. Y'all Shemar Thabashim Abishah. You got a question or a comment on what you've been hearing?
Just a comment I don't want.
All right, go ahead.
I'm just supporting the brothers, supporting the ICAM. I just want to say the water for always continuing to give us the truth. And I'm just calling in and listening in to support the ICAM.
Most High correct. Most High correct. That's how you build a nation. Guarantee. That's the kingdom of heaven, brotherhood, sisterhood, supporting each other. And we appreciate everything, all right? All the brothers and sisters that call into the show and support us. And I thank you very much, Aqua. The water to you, okay?
I am about.
All right. Most High correct. All right, we got somebody else on? Okay, second caller, 713-231. You live right now, Boot Up and Shut Up Radio. What's your name and where you calling from?
Shalom, how is tomorrow? This is Makwadash.
Makwadash.
Property of Super Polian. Khan, how you doing, sir?
Shalom. Yahweh Shema Tabashi Mabashah. I'm doing great, Aqua. Thank yourself.
I was good. I was watching you on the internet, and my friend three-way man. I wanted to salute also Captain Kahan, and I wanted to thank both of you guys because you guys are the heroes. Y'all really don't know. I know all honor and glory goes to Yahweh Shai, but you guys are really deserving of the rewards that's set ahead for you. I wanted to giggle a little bit about the manure because waiting for the shit to hit the fan.
Look.
And they found some black people down there, baby, with the race words were already cocked off.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. I'm gonna ask you a question when you get through. Would you say that?
Oh, kind of. I don't have nothing more. I just thought that was hilarious because I'm like, that just shows how immature the Edomites are as a race. Because I'm like, really? This is what you want to do?
Right. And my point, like I'm just asking, like the callers when they call in, through your years of living on this earth, have you or have you not experienced the same voter issues if you voted, or are you looking at problems always when it's time to vote? It's always something going on. Is that true?
So, I'm actually thankful that I've always been politically irresponsible, and I just felt guilty about it because the first and only time I've ever voted for anything was with Obama. And I felt even bad doing that vote because I didn't understand any of the ballots. I didn't know any of the candidates. And I felt like the only reason I turned out to the polls is because I really thought he was Israel. At the time, I didn't know the difference between Israel and him. But, had I known then, I wouldn't have got my ass off the bed then either, sir.
Hey, well, guess what? We thank the Most High for the Isupk, right?
Most High in Christ, this is the truth. The home of the truth.
That's right. So, and we know, as it says in Exodus chapter 11, verse 7, that the Lord does make a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. All right. So that's what that is right there. All right. Well, look, I want to thank you for calling in. Anything else you want to say? You good?
My baby's running around the house talking about Kwame Yasharala. So why don't you have because my baby's in the Holy Spirit now. I'm telling you, the ancestors is coming back. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. But I just see things happening so fast. And that fire in California, of course we have concern for our Israelite brothers and sisters.
Right.
But I'm like, burn it to the ground.
Right.
Most time crazy.
Right. Especially the Kardashian rest of places and things like that. Hey, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And Most High say we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments like we're doing, then He's gonna be our shield and buckler. He's gonna do all the fight. You see what I'm saying? So hey, as we look back, like I say, all we gotta do is follow these commandments and do what we're supposed to do. And one of them is not voting. Okay? And then we can watch the Most High elect and put someone. The Lord will choose. Okay? Someone, right? A king, right? And that's what we have to wait. Show brotherhood and sisterhood, and let's not go. Showing brotherhood and sisterhood is not going to the voting ballot. Okay? That's a sin. You might as well eat pork. Okay? Because that's what it is. All right? Most High in Christ for that. All right. Okay, we good on that? Okay. Most High in Christ. All right, we're going to take another call. We got another caller coming in. 713. Area code 713-876. 713-876. Guess what? You live right now on Boot Up and Shut Up Radio. What's your name and your location? Shalom, Yahweh Shemashim. Duh!
Man, it's awesome a lot, man. I've been on the line listening, man. If I could, I want to expound on a heavy point that I heard the Captain Kahan bring out.
Go ahead. You know how you do it. Go ahead.
He asked the black voters which one of the candidates was speaking directly for black people. So what our people have to understand is we understand that we've been oppressed, still are oppressed, and that changes need to be made to ensure that black community pushes forward.
Right.
But the problem is we think that we are American. What's plaguing black community? We got black on black violence, we got abortion rates at sky high, we got poverty, we got drug drug issues,
Right.
poor education,
Killing
we
each
have
other.
all these problems
Right.
that's plaguing the black community, but that's not plaguing America.
That's right.
So when you're trying to elect these officials to deal with black issues when they are American politicians, even if somehow a nigga actually gets to the White House, he is the president of America, not
Right.
the president of black people.
Right.
So they have to look at all the issues from a whole standpoint. And when you start talking about making America great again, which America are they talking about? They can't be talking about black America.
Right.
So even trying to vote for a candidate, they're just going to use the black influence to springboard themselves into office. And like Captain Kahan said, once they get up there on those polls and they actually get a chance to win, the people that those lobbyists that supporting them, you're going to have to start making compromises.
Right.
Well, if the lobbyists want to keep Planned Parenthood in a ghetto, well, what do you think they're going to do?
Right.
They're going to compromise.
Right.
And the first people they're going to sell out are you, because black people's problems are not America's problems.
That's right.
Now, when crack cocaine was killing our and destroying our people in the 80s, it wasn't a problem. Ronald Reagan was the one that put the crack in the neighborhood. But now that heroin is destroying white communities, now they want to address it. You understand? Like
Right.
we
It's an
start
epidemic.
understanding that there is nobody in the political field that's going to do anything for black people.
Right.
What we need to stop doing is we need to stop trying to put our hope in politics and put our hope in the scriptures.
Right.
Paul said the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning, and through the patience and the comfort of the scriptures, that we may have hope.
Right.
So we need to put our hope in the Most High under commanding Junior Hum.
That's right.
That's where we can get our salvation from.
Right.
We don't have to go out to no polls, and we don't even have to do no real work. The men of the Lord are doing it right now. All you got to do is stop eating pork.
Right.
Stop going to strip clubs. Stop buying cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Just and we could take over America
Just like
in a
that.
day if we just came back to the law, statutes, and commandments.
Man.
Stop looking for America to save black people. When have America ever gave a damn about black people? We're
Right.
about to celebrate Thanksgiving. It's
Right.
a commercialized holiday.
Right.
And the people that we're gonna be thanking the Lord that we got rid of are still here. Tell me which candidate was coming out saying, you know what, let's start with Thanksgiving. Because the Native Americans are still here. And on that day we're gonna have turkey, we're gonna sit around a big old, at a big old table, and they're gonna go each one by one and thank the Lord for the white.
Right. You know
That's
what?
what they're gonna do.
You know what's, listen, this was heavy about what you're saying. You have a lot of brothers and sisters, right, that are in the world that consider themselves Indians, right? Oh, my mom was Cherokee, my mom was Blackfoot, and my daddy was this. And they going to celebrate Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? And they supposed to be Indians. Like, that's how destroyed we are, you know? Go ahead.
And if I could, sir, like Christ said, you are of your father the devil.
Right.
The rest of your father you will do.
Right.
Like we trying to, I seen a post today. A girl said, I know my vote doesn't count. I know my vote doesn't change anything, but I'm still gonna vote because it's my right. Like our ancestors didn't die to vote. Our ancestors were murdered. They didn't give a damn about a vote. They just wanted to live.
Right.
And even if you want to say that our ancestors died, that means someone killed them.
Right.
And you're putting those kids in office.
Right. The people who you voting for was the one that killed them. That's the trip part about it. You see what I'm saying?
On one kind.
So, it's a heavy point too, because when we look, if it's not looking for someone from another nation, it's always looking for someone like, the white man, he going to put a coon up there, right? So it's going to be an entertainer. It's going to be an entertainer. It's going to be a rapper, a celebrity. It's going to be a football player. It's never going to be someone, that's spiritually speaking about the Bible, that's consciously waking their people up as a representative for our people, like Commander Junior Hum. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And I'm sorry. And I'm going to go after this, sir, but I just want to say this. As we go back and reflect on this past week of voting, right? How many Arabs were running?
Right.
How many Chinese people were running?
Zero.
How many of those people were actually Jewish in religion?
Right.
None.
Right.
But why is it that? Cause I've never been to California ever. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to California, but I've been Arabs from the gas stations in California. I'm sure there's a Chinatown in California. I've never been, and I'm sure there's a ghetto where everybody thinks that they can never make it out unless they playing basketball, or rapping, or selling drugs.
Right.
Why is that? It's because it's a system. We don't need politics. What we need is brotherhood. And that's what the Chinese man has. That's what the Arab man has.
Right.
That's what the Jewish man has. Now, if that Chinese dude would have beat up a Jewish white woman and kicked him or her out of the hair store, every Jewish man, woman, and child would have boycotted that place. They would have been forced to shut down and sell. But because we lack the main thing Christ told us to have, which is brotherhood, we don't need to go to no polls. We need to run to each other. We don't need no white man or no whoever you want to put in politics to fight for us. All we gotta do is not fight each other. But you know, our people, we the ox knows on us. You know what I'm saying? And an ass is master's crib. You know what I'm saying? But the only people out here that actually have a power are Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We kind of put our trust in a system that's not broken.
Right.
Like, that's what they don't understand. The system is working exactly the way they designed it. To put white people in power and to keep niggas down. And I got one more thing to say, and I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Anybody that's on the phone right now that knows anything about American history, right? Even the white man knows that you can't change something.
Right.
You have to overhaul the whole thing.
Yep.
We're out here talking about let's change the Constitution. The white man didn't change the Constitution. If anybody else knows what the first lawmaking body was, it was the Article of Confederation.
Yep.
They knew they had to get rid of that. They didn't go and ratify and make changes and edit. No, they got rid of the Article of Confederation and came up with the Constitution.
Right.
Which politician is proposing that we get rid of the Constitution? And if we don't got any one of those doing that, then they don't want no real change.
Man, that's heavy.
But I'm gone, sir. Y'all doing a hell of a job, sir. Put up and shut up, Captain Hunt out here killing it as usual.
Right.
I'm saying I'm gonna let the callers go ahead and get back on. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Most High in Christ, brother. Shalom. Y'all about Shema Shabbat. Duh.
No, that's true.
Most High in Christ. Okay, we gonna stop it right there, and we do appreciate the calls that are coming in. We have so much information that we have to get in for today, and we're not through dropping bombs. All right, so we're gonna turn it back over into the care. 13,000. Captain Kahan, Thumb Yard, you got the floor out of one. All right.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Khan, we can hear you.
Hey, shout out to Officer Malak and the sister out there, the sister that's supporting Officer Malak out there, the heavy hitter camp out there in Houston.
That's right.
Put it down, made some heavy points. Let's get the, can we get story, let's get story 13 if we could.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is an op-ed that was wrote from the ops, for lack of a better word. This is an op-ed that was talking about too woke to vote. Too woke to vote. They got a problem with black people who don't want to vote. And this is what you got to get ready to happen in America. There's a split that's getting ready to happen. There's already happening right now among black people and among all the tribes. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be those who fight his kingdom and those who are against his kingdom. You understand? That's against oppression and those who are for oppression. Let me know when you get it, warrior.
Come. Analysts, the question now facing Democrats, how to wake up the too woke to vote crowd. All right. This is CNN. If you talk politics in the black community, you probably run across this character. The quote, too woke to vote, unquote, non-voter. They follow elections. They hate racism. They talk all day about, quote, the man, unquote, oppressing their people. They're just too hip to vote because they think America is too irredeemably racist for voting to make a difference.
Hold on. Now, who are they talking about? Who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about us.
Right.
Because you know why they're talking about us? Because it's us, we're starting to grow more. You understand? They're saying, there's a group out there that's saying, America's too far gone to redeem.
Yep.
It's too far racist. It's too, and let me tell you something. The Bible says that. Give me where the scripture where it says, this is not your rest, I want y'all, for it is polluted. We're going to get it out the Bible.
Right.
So you want to make America your rest. You understand? All you got to do is invite us on CNN. That's all you got to do. We'll tell you why America is irredeemable. Donald Trump is the proof that what we're saying is right. You understand? We're going to give, I mean, come on, man. There's so much we want to go into, but we can stay on this thing all the way to 2 o'clock in the morning, bringing out stories. You understand? Let me know when you get that scripture, boy.
Come.
It says, this is not your rest. The Lord told us, don't put our hope in this place. How you going to put your hope in America, but you want the kingdom of heaven? And I want to say this, too. Also, Malcolm brought a good point. You want to know why those Pharisees and Sadducees came up against Christ? Because they thought he was starting another government where they was going to lose power, that they were losing influence among black people. You're going to see in these times, those same Negroes come up against black people, so-called quote-unquote woke black people. They're going to start the church. They're going to say, you Negroes are the problem. You Negroes are the reason we can't sit at the master's table. You don't want to work with America. You are the problem. Watch what I tell you.
Right.
And it's going to be some of our own who've been in the political realm for the longest.
Right.
You understand? And they're benefited, and they made themselves a seat among the master's house, among the White House, and they are going to blame poor black people for things not working in America. You're going to see it. Right. You're going to know that we prophets of the Lord, because we're telling you right now. And this article is a precursor to it.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
You see what the Lord is saying? Arise. In order for you to arise, you have to be awake.
Right.
You understand? They want to put you asleep. The Bible says, arise. This is not your rest. You done got too comfortable in America. And you done got comfortable under oppression. You done got comfortable under being misrepresented and underrepresented. You understand? The Lord said, arise. This is not your rest, for it is what?
Polluted. It shall destroy you.
Polluted. This place is polluted. Not only is the water polluted, not only is the air polluted, not only is the food polluted, but this system of government is polluted. It's corrupted. And it has corrupted your mind. It has corrupted your perception of what reality is and how life is supposed to be. That's why we say it's polluted. And the God is saying it's polluted. Keep going.
Verse 11. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even...
Hold on. That's what these politicians tell you.
Right.
A politician and a preacher ain't no different. They're going to prophesy to you good things. They're going to give you better education. This is the year you're going to get jobs. This is the year, every year they tell you, they promise you sweet things and wine and everything else. But it gets worse. Every year. Every year you just seem to never get the democratic dream that you voted for. And then you know what they tell you? You got to wait. When Barack Obama got elected, you got elected. Now we got to get what we want. You got to wait. It's just 44 years, you got to wait. Then he got elected again. Then you told black people to still wait. Like, how long you going to keep waiting? How long we got to keep waiting for justice? How long we got to keep waiting for whatever we trying to get in America? You understand? Every time, you would never tell a Jewish man he got to wait. You never tell a Chinese man he got to wait. And they won't wait. We're showing you that they buy their politicians. You want to talk about politics? Get your money up. we're gonna show you, like I said, Isupk, we know how to deal with all this. You understand? We know how to deal with the geopolitical problem in America with our people. You don't vote for politicians, you buy politicians, you dumb. You understand?
Right.
You don't even have a national treasury where you can, you know what your national treasury is? In the Christian church. All that money that's going in there, and they divide it among themselves in the coffin. That's what has happened in America, man. That's what you fail to understand. Let's get back to that story right there for you.
Come on. All right. Says, let me get back over here. All right. They're just too hip to vote because they think America is too irredeemably racist for voting to make a difference. They are gripped by what one writer calls, quote, the highest level of wokeicity. Wokeicity.
Wokeicity.
Okay, wokeicity. It's a lot.
That's another word the bougie niggas that made up. Go ahead.
Wokeicity. After Tuesday's midterms, when one black candidate of governor narrowly lost in Florida and another trailed in a Georgia race, still too close to call, I wondered what those, quote, too woke to vote, unquote, were telling their voter friends and families now. It's not a trivial question how those conversations could affect what happens in the 2020 presidential election. Now, if Democrats hope to take back the White House in 2 years, they will have to do better than mobilize people who don't normally vote in the midterms. Florida and maybe Georgia shows that won't be enough. They will have to mobilize people who don't normally vote at all. And that means waking up the, quote, too woke to vote crowd, unquote, right? There was a lot of...
In other words, putting them back to sleep.
Right.
That's what that means.
Right.
In other words, we got to put, when they say you too woke to vote, that means we got to put niggas back to sleep. Because they starting to break away. Give me that scripture where it says, that day should not come. And give me that scripture where it says, let no man deceive you.
Come.
By any means. Let me get that scripture. I'm going to show you something. Because these black politicians are going to try to deceive us. Because once again, that's how they eat. They eat by getting you to vote.
Right.
They show their relevance by getting you to vote. They show their influence by getting you to vote. Once they lose their influence among black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people, they will lose their money.
Right.
They will lose their checks. Do you understand? I'm telling you what's going on. The Isupk is telling you what is happening. It's the same thing with Christ. They accuse Christ of trying to, they accuse Christ of treason. They said, when he said, my kingdom is not of this world, they said, what other kingdom are you talking about?
Right.
Don't you pay taxes? Don't you do this? Don't you vote? They tried to charge Christ. And them same wicked Negroes got up there before Christ and Barabbas and Pilate. And when they said crucify him, when Pilate asked them, what, should I crucify your king? They said, we have no king but Caesar. You understand? These are the ones that the Bible is talking about. The ones who get mad at black people for waking up. Because when they wake up, they can't eat no more. They lose their relevance and their influence among black people in the political realm and in the other realm. Why do you think they mad at these young millennials that's waking up? These young kids, they don't just want their internet fast, they want fast results.
Wow.
They grew up in the 60s. They like, look, man, it shouldn't take this long for the get jump.
Right.
They started to gain unease. It started to be unrest. They started to, make it uncomfortable for these rich Negroes. Keep going, brother.
Come. With the verse, or go ahead and get the.
Let me get the verse.
Okay, come. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3. And it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man is...
Let me say this. The Bible says, let no man deceive you by any means, by economic means, by political means,
Right.
by religious means, by any philosophy means, any gender means, any sexual preference means. There's so many different means the devil used to deceive you.
Right.
Paul said, don't let any man deceive you by any means. That day, read that part where it says that day.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
You see that? What is that day talking about? The day of your salvation, black man, Hispanic and American man. That day is the day of you that you get justice, aka Judgment Day, where righteousness will be put back in the earth, where you now have a chance to rule. Make sure. Don't worry about trying to elect these fake politicians. Make your election sure. Make what you're supposed to do sure. You're the ones that the Lord is going to use to wake up his people. These politicians, they failed. You understand? They failed. They had 50 years, over 50 plus years to get this thing right, and they failed. You understand? The Lord took Israel out of the desert, and in 40 years they had a nation.
Right.
We going on 50 plus years and we ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You understand? That day ain't going to come unless there be a falling away.
Right.
A falling away from what? From the political system. From his way of life.
Right.
You understand? And when you fall away from these things, you become holy. What does the word holy mean? To be separated, man.
Right.
The Lord cannot deliver you when you attach to your oppressor. Did not he tell Moses to tell Pharaoh to let his people go? You got to tell these Negroes to let Pharaoh go now.
Right.
You got to tell them to let Pharaoh go. You understand? Because we are so tired. We think our salvation is in this man's political system. And like I said before, God is just too jealous to allow this man to deliver you. He's just too jealous to allow any other nation to give you anything. And you praise them.
Right.
He's too jealous.
Right.
He's not going to allow it. You understand? If I could, any more of that scripture?
Come on.
Come on.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
You see that? When you start to, you know what happened to black people when they say you won't, meaning you starting to wake up. You starting to wake up now. You understand? That's what happened. Black people are starting to wake up, and you starting to see who the man of sin is.
Right.
The Lord is starting to remove that veil from your eyes. You're starting to see. That's why we bring out all these stories, to reveal that man of sin.
Right.
To show you that the game is rigged. If they ain't throwing away folks, they giving you the wrong ballot. If they ain't giving you the wrong ballot, you ain't got a ballot machine to work. You understand? They doing all kind of things. And meanwhile, it's not going to work for you anyway, even if they counted the vote. Because if black people's votes counted, they wouldn't let you vote anyway.
Right.
You understand? Martin Luther King realized that later on after the Civil Rights Voting Rights Act was passed. He realized that, but it was a little too late. He told Harry Belafonte, I feel like that I'm integrated my people into a burning house. This is after we got the right to vote. You understand? So he realized something. I got a quote I want to read from W.E.B. Du Bois. A lot of Negroes like to quote W.E.B. Du Bois.
Right.
And look what he realized later on in his life. This is a quote from W.E.B. Du Bois concerning voting. And I quote, in 1956, I shall not go to the polls. I have not registered. I believe that democracy has so far disappeared in the United States that no two evils exist, but there is one evil party with two names. And it elected despite all I can say, all I can do or say. There is no third party.
Wow.
This coming from W.E.B. Du Bois,
Wow.
a so-called quote-unquote black intellectual in 1956. He realized the game. Towards later on, after he participated in all that stuff, he realized that, look, it's all a game, man.
Right.
It don't fit you. It don't fit us.
Right.
Any more on that, brother? Any more on that scripture?
That's it out of one.
Let's go back to the story. Let's finish up with that story.
Right. And that means waking up the, quote, too woke to vote crowd, unquote. There was a lot of hope riding on the candidacies of Andrew Gillum and Stacey Abrams. Gillum lost his bid to become the first black president of Florida, a crucial swing state. And Abrams is trying to become the country's first black female governor, though she has yet to concede. Her opponent, Republican Brian Kemp, has declared victory. Both Gillum and Abrams attracted the support of former President Barack Obama and black celebrities. Both had to contend with opponents who employed tactics that seemed, at least to some, straight out of the Jim Crow playbook, including racist rhetoric and the use of a term that was once seen relegated to the history books. Complaints of the outside agitators. There were also allegations of voter suppression, but Abrams and Gillum supporters hoped they could overcome those obstacles by turning out votes who don't normally vote in midterm elections. Now, it wasn't enough in Florida when it may not have been enough and it may not have been enough in Georgia, in part because Republicans did the same and perhaps even better. President Trump matched the enthusiasm of the progressive voters in those states by mobilizing his white rural base with promises to protect them from, as Peter Beinhart. Okay, so Peter Beinhart wrote in The Atlantic, quote, Latino murderers and women who destroyed men's lives by alleging sexual assault. Quote, the harsh truth is this: racism often works, Beinhart said.
Hold on. Say that one more time. That last one. See, you gonna have to deal with this.
Wow.
You black bourgeoisie gonna have. I don't care how many degrees you got. You gonna have to deal with this. You gonna have to come down off your ivory tower and deal with this in the ghetto. You gonna have to come down here, and the UPK we gonna be running away. Read that part again.
Quote,
Tell them what works.
quote, the harsh truth is this: racism often works, Beinhart
Say
said.
it one more time.
Come
One more time, please.
Quote, the harsh truth is this: racism often works, Beinhart
You
said.
see that? You see that? Like every other nation unify around race.
Wow.
How can you be effective, even if you wanted to be effective in politics? You could not be effective unless you unite around race.
Right.
When was black people, let me ask you a question. When was the black church the strongest? I'll tell you when. When we were united around race in the 60s.
Yep.
When we had one common enemy. You understand? You lost that. Because they didn't game over. They didn't dilute race and say it's about a working class person. Now you gotta be now the black woman is a double minority. You're a woman and black. You know what I'm saying? And now in order for you to be a man, in order to be a double minority as a black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man, you gotta be an LGBTQI.
Yeah.
You understand?
Amazing.
You can't get the rights of a black man, so you gotta be gay now to get the goddamn right.
Right.
You understand? Now gay is the new black. They done hijacked the civil rights movement all over again. Any more on that, warrior?
Gun on gun.
Come on.
Cross-racial, quote, cross-racial coalitions for economic justice are the exception in American history. Mobilizing white people to protect their racial dominance is the norm, right? The lesson of 2018 is that American politics is not reverting to normal. In many ways, Trumpism is normal. Whether Democrats can get those, quote, too woke to vote, unquote, to the polls will be crucial to the party's success. This issue isn't abstract to me. One of my best friends in Atlanta is, quote, too woke to vote, unquote. He studies black history, loves the Black Panthers, talks constantly about racism, but he won't vote. Now, just 2 weeks ago, he had an impassioned argument about the importance of voting. I told him I didn't care who he voted for, just vote. Now, the discussion got so heated.
Hold on. Now, you see, that's some hypocritical stuff. Now, they get mad. Now, they say they don't care who you vote for. Now, and let me just say this, too. Do you know what's even worse than voting? You know what's even worse than not voting? Is an uneducated vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least the person ain't contributing to their demise. You vote and don't give a damn who the hell you vote for. Just vote. But then at the same time, they say don't vote for Donald Trump. Or they get mad at Kanye West. Some of these only reason they bourgeoisie get mad at Kanye West because they gotta follow the man. Black people look at it like, what the hell Kanye West do? Well, hell, you just said it don't matter who you vote for.
Right.
Well, that nigga be an Uncle Tom then. Let him be a sellout. It don't matter, right? It don't matter who you campaign for. You see how backwards that is, man? And black people, like I said, man, we not funding these political candidates, man. You ain't paying for their campaign. Do you think they making promises to the people who funding them? They're making promises, like the brother said earlier, to these lobbies, to these tech companies, Google, and all these people that funding these campaigns. You know what I'm saying? Amazon. These are corporations that get behind these candidates. The hell you bringing? They don't need a vote. They just need funding. You understand? And that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. Black people don't understand that. You buy politicians, man. And I laugh when they say that the Russians influenced the Russians. They influencing the election. But guess what? So are the so-called Jewish man. Who do you think those lobbyists belong to? The Chinese. Everybody got a hand in this pot. Every nation. And they ain't trying to build a goddamn utopia. They trying to carve out a section for their own people, their own race. And they use politics to do it.
Woo.
Meanwhile, you gotta wait. You gotta march. You gotta protest. You gotta do this. You gotta do that.
That's it.
You gotta register to vote. You gotta get the voter ID. You gotta do all this stuff. You gotta stay in line 4 hours in Atlanta to go vote. God got something better than that. He got something way better than that. That's why he said, Christ said, my burden is easy. My yoke is easy. Take it upon you. It's easy. You know, it's easy like Sunday morning.
Right.
All you got to do is follow what the Lord said. You know what the Lord say? The Lord say, I'm nigh unto you. You understand? He ain't far away. You understand? You got to go to the polls to find the Lord. Right. You ain't got to go that far to find him. All you got to do is serve him, and the Lord will give you the kingdom of heaven overnight if you would turn to him as a nation. You don't understand how fragile America is right now. You understand? America's so fragile. Like I said, damn near the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, parts of the West Coast is on fire right now. You understand? The South is in turmoil. The North is in every direction in this country is in turmoil. You understand? He's trying to keep the Mexicans and all them out, but the Lord is using his own military, ex-military, to blow his brains out of the country western border. You understand? That's what's going on in this country, man.
Yeah.
Any more on that, warrior?
kind of a little bit more. I just want to add to what you're saying. So Heavy, I got a thought when you said that, like these, like we stand in line, not us, but I'm just speaking as a whole, as a nation. We stand in line 4 or 5, 6 hours to vote. What is the difference from that and you standing 4, 5, 6 hours in line for a lottery ticket? Right? So to get the person you want in, right, you have a better chance at hitting the lottery than you got a chance in putting the person you want in to vote. You see what I'm saying? That's absolutely incredible. You got like 300 and something, 25 million, in one, out of one. But in voting, well, it's fixed from the beginning. So you spend the same amount of time waiting in line to try to vote. That's like a lottery ticket, man. Absolutely incredible.
Damn right. Damn right, bro.
Okay, let's get more. All right. Now, it gets a little bit deeper. It says, the discussion got so heated that he stepped away from me as I raised my voice. We changed the subject to safer grounds. We talked about sports and women. Now, it made me think about a writer and poet, Michael Harriot said in 2017 essay in The Root, quote, you can't have an intelligent conversation with someone with a PhD in wokeology because when losing an argument, they can always counter actual facts with, quote, who told you that? The white man? Unquote. Right?
You see that? Hold on. You see how these Negroes think?
That's heavy, man.
You see how these Negroes think? But listen,
What's
we
it?
showing you what black people said this.
Right.
I just quoted W.E.B. Du Bois. I just quoted Martin Luther King when he told Harry Belafonte. See, these, like I said, these Negroes, they don't want to lose. Seeing this, they're gonna have to try to make you go asleep so you can keep this engine going.
Right.
Because this engine is how they drive their status being. How they become a political commentator on a news station. Because if black people are not engaged in politics, why do we need you? Why are you here?
Right.
You understand? You got it, boy. Any more?
Right. Yes, a little bit more. We got, now, it says, still, after Tuesday, I wanted to know what my, quote, too woke to vote, unquote, friend thought. What would he make an election where the president of the United States aired an ad that was so racist that some networks, including Fox News, refused to air it? What would he think about the cartoonishly racist robocalls directed against black candidates? What would he think about the Republican who successfully ran against Gillum in Florida and warned voters not to, quote, monkey this up, unquote, by electing this black opponent? Most important, did he have any second thoughts about not casting a ballot for Abrams despite the narrow outcome of her race? He cut right to the chase and flashed his PhD in wokeology. He told me he figured Abrams' opponent would win because, as Georgia's Secretary of State until Thursday, he oversaw the election. Quote, I don't regret not voting, and I don't plan on voting going forward, he told me. I have absolutely...
If I can say one thing, and what that brother said, whoever that person was, they were right. Because Kemp oversaw the election. There's a lawsuit against him right now. There's a restraining order saying that how can he participate in an election that he oversees? That's the truth. He ain't resigned. He resigned later, after the election was over with, to get reelected. Last time I checked, I could be wrong, but he was over the election.
Right.
He played a part in making sure the election was fair. Now, talk about conflict of interest. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like these people here, man, like, oh my goodness, man, they so disgusting. And they think they know every goddamn thing. They think they know, how black people are supposed to live, and they want to be in charge of black people, but they can't because they ain't fit. These Negroes been sitting over the top of black people. Most of these cities are ran by Democrats. Now I'm not for the Democrats or the Republicans. Yeah, UPK, we don't participate in politics for Republicans and Democrats and all that stuff. You understand? But a lot of these cities that dilapidated, a lot of these major cities that ran by Democratic black niggas, excuse my language.
Right.
Who getting money, and half of it robbing the federal government anyway. Half of these money that's supposed to be going to these schools, these niggas is pocketing. Let's just be real about it. You know how many scandals that come out of some of these cities with these councilmen and aldermen and all that stuff? Selling all kind of money for black folks.
Right.
All kind of programs, computer programs and stuff, and the nigga got 30 laptops in his basement.
Right. We're looking at 3 minutes.
Okay, go ahead, boy. I'll let you finish up on it.
Okay, Most High Christ. I just want to read the rest of it. It says, I don't regret not voting, and I don't plan voting going forward. He told me I have absolutely no trust or faith in the U.S. political or justice system. Someone I know on Facebook put it more succinctly. F the vote. That's what it says.
Goddamn right. Hold on. Listen. He get mad at him. This is what he got to say. This is what he should say. Where are your white political allies?
Right.
Don't get mad at black folks. Where your gay allies? Where your white women allies? Go find them. Don't get mad at black. Why they ain't going to do? I understand. I'm with y'all. Why they ain't going to black women and say, why ain't more y'all vote for April? Why they ain't doing that? I'm with y'all. Why they ain't going to that? If these people been not for April and say, hey man, why y'all ain't get out and go vote for this black woman?
Right. I tell you.
You see that?
Man, listen. You guys, let me tell you this. Most High Christ. Hey, what you've been listening to, Captain, Priest and Captain of 13,000, Kahan Thumyard. I want to thank him. Again, we're going to air every second and fourth Sunday, coming live at you, Boot Up or Shut Up Radio. We do want to give a shout out to our radio, Isupk radio affiliates, across the line with Captain Tazariak. Big up to Captain Kadazai for the work he did, for the help he did for us today. Let a Hebrew Speak with General Hazayan and Captain Akkad. Hidden Truth Revealed with Captain Azanaya. And Angry Black Man Media with Captain Sakawar and 5,000 Ariyah. Okay, we got Rude in Speech with Officer Tazayawan, Officer Mapataza, and of course Officer Knott. Big up to Commanding General Yohana. We're going to keep this truth going. Big up to the Houston School out here. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it going. And all praises due to Most High God, Barakatah Yahweh Yahabashah. See you next time in 2 weeks. Boot up and shut up. Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Israel. Pay your tithes.